All right, all right. Well, this is too bright. Wait, let me adjust the light. This is too bright. What happened? I think green is too much. I'm muted. Yeah. I'm trying to fix the light. I'm trying to fix the light with my foot. Let's see. So if you hear something fall, that's on me. All right. Yep. All right, there we go. Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Hey Soda and Can. Thanks for the follow. Do you hear? All right, you can hear me now. Okay. Welcome to DMPaulG stream. Today we're gonna continue with our Adventures League updates, and yeah, we started it the other day, and then we're gonna continue reading the documents that was released by Adventures League. And oops, what did I press? What did? Okay, I forgot how to stream. I forgot how to make this work. Okay, I think I got it now. This week it's been weird because I'm trying to schedule stuff. Things change, things happen, and then I forget how to put them in my calendar, and then things just go crazy from there. But yeah, we start with our usual non-existent raffle. Yep, and then after that, we're gonna go read the documents that we have. So if it's your first time joining here, usually we do streams Monday. We do streams Monday to Thursday, 11 p.m. Manila, 10 a.m. Eastern, and we read Moonshae Isle related content or adventures, and we learn the lore from that. We extract the lore from it. But this week is a bit different because last week, Adventures League, which is the official D&D organized play I'm getting distracted with this raffle thing in chat. Not yet. We don't have raffle yet. Although this will be the perfect time to do raffle, right? Because it's the holidays. But what's this? D&D Adventures League is the official organized play system of D&D 5th edition. So I play a lot of Adventures League. I write a lot of adventures for Adventures League. And I write a lot of content for Adventures League in the form of adventures as well. And for those who don't know, I'm one of the storyline coordinators for the Moonshae Isles at Balman Games. And the adventures that we create there are also good for Adventures League. And 7 of those that we're creating right now together with the other storyline coordinator for the Moonshae Isles, Savannah Houston McIntyre, are going to premiere at Winter Fantasy. So I think I have the website for it now. Do I? Yes, there we go. So we have a website for it. And check it out. It's going to happen on Feb 1st to Feb 5. I don't think you can schedule purchase tickets yet, but soon. But 7 of our Moonshae adventures under the new Moonshae storyline, Malefic Delusions, including a multi-table epic, will premiere at Winter Fantasy. Savannah guest episode when hopefully soon. I'm gonna get her because she's the she's much more knowledgeable than I am when it comes to the Moonshae Isles. Because before I got this position as a storyline coordinator, Savannah already was working with Eric Mengi, which is the previous storyline lead for Moonshae Isles, the one that created the architect for the whole Rising Shadow campaign. So she knows a lot. She's the one that I go to her when I have questions. Her and Eric, and then me, I'm just making stuff up until I'm just making stuff up until I actually know what the lore is. That's why we're doing the stream. Yeah, you're gonna hear a lot of motorcycle noise as we go along. It's 11 p.m. here, but my office is right in front of the street. So, and if you hear the noise, that means my mic is just that good, right? Or maybe I should adjust it a little bit. There. So we don't have to go with that. So, anyway. Yeah, there are a lot of motorcycles around Christmas. Yeah, they're trying to go around. That's Santa's minions, Santa's elves now, trying to spread the gifts. They've upgraded. They now use motorcycles to, ship your gifts. Anyway, I think we're good. I think I'm looking at my screen. I think we have everything we need. So let's go ahead and do this. Where is that? There we go. What we're doing today is we're going to read the last 2 documents that was released by Adventures League. They released 4 last week. One is the Player's Guide, which we read. Another one is the Dungeon Master's Guide, which we read as well. And then these two documents are basically Dungeoncraft Design Guide. One for Ravenloft and the other for Eberron. And I'm going to start with Eberron, I guess. And these are effective December 19, 2022. This is a Dungeoncraft is a way for us to create adventure modules set in these campaigns that are legal for Adventures League play. There. And we're going to go through that. These are 4 pages, but I already underestimated it the other day. 4 pages is probably going to be like an hour 20 for us to discuss. So yeah, so let's dive into it. Okay, let's go. So what is Dungeoncraft, or what is this guide for? So you can create your own D&D adventure for the D&D Adventures League Eberron campaign. To create your own adventures, you'll need Eberron Rising from the Last War book. Do I have that book? Wait. Is this the one? Yep. So if you need this book, all right, to be able to create Dungeoncraft adventures set in the Eberron campaign. I think I just dumped my book unconsciously in the trash can. Wait. Yeah, all right. There we go. No, that was not intentional. I'm just trying to put it away, and then it slid through the trash can. God damn it. All right. You also need the adventure template and style guide used for the Dungeoncraft program that you can get in dmsguild.com, which I had here, but then I had to restart my computer, and now it disappeared. So let me try to go to dmsguild.com. Let me go to my library. All right, and post it here. This is the link because we already have a Dungeoncraft adventure document available, and this is for Spelljammer, right? And which is set in the Forgotten Realms. It's part of the Forgotten Realms campaign. So we can write D&D Adventures League adventure modules and publish them on dmsguild.com, and you can use all the tools that are in this link, right? But also you can use the templates here to create Eberron and Ravenloft adventures. Okay. So how do we create an adventure in Eberron? We have the book. Okay, so what are the guidelines here? So the guidelines: adventures in the Eberron campaign must take place in the world of Eberron, not the Forgotten Realms, not on Earth, not on Mars, not on Dragonlance. It has to be in the campaign setting of Eberron. And they may not cross over into other settings. Yes, the plot of your adventure must include some aspect of Eberron as an integral part, and using monsters from Eberron Rising from the Last War does not fulfill that requirement by itself. So if you just use the monsters from the book, the Eberron book, that's not enough. Like the whole story, it doesn't have to follow the themes of Eberron, but the setting has to be in Eberron. Okay. And so if you're gonna have an adventure in the moon of like a moon-like adventure, it has to be in the moon of Eberron. Does Eberron have a moon? I think so. Yeah. I'm not well versed in Eberron setting. I played like 4 or 5 adventures in Eberron before we died. Yeah, they should, right? I know there's a map, there's like a cool map. I know like the creation story is like there are 3 dragons, right? 3 dragons, and then one of those, god dang, there's a lot of motorcycles today. God, and then one of those dragon is Eberron, and kind of wrap up one of like the dark dragons, I think. So it's like the evil dragon is wrapped up inside the Eberron dragon, which is basically the world, and then there's one more, which is I think the sky of Eberron, either the sky, the sun, or the moon, or the whole, yep, the whole thing. So a moon and the sky is yeah. I'm just not sure if there's like one moon or like 10 moons in the world of Eberron. Yeah, feel free to educate us, please. Other sages here were well versed in Eberron setting. So going back, so a template is provided for use, including the community-created D&D Adventures League logo. You must use this template and follow the formatting standards as presented in the template. This logo must appear on your adventure. See the guidelines below. And you should be familiar with the D&D style guide also provided in the link that I just sent as well. Please review the Wizards and DMs Guild content guidelines. Only you or a co-designer can dungeon master your adventure until it is published in DMs Guild. So let's break it that paragraph right there. Let's break it down. There's a word template in that you can get in DMs Guild under the link that I sent, and yeah. And then what you can do is, again, when I started this is where my career started. I wrote a Adventures League module called A Dragon's Breath. At that time, it's not called Dungeoncraft. It's called CCC, or Community Created Content. And I have zero knowledge in writing. Writing stories or everything, nothing like that. And I don't use Word as well. Back in my corporate life, what I do is more on process management, quality, those things in a corporate environment. I use Excel, Microsoft Excel a lot. That's my Microsoft tool, right? I don't use Word. So and then when I started writing adventures, I thought, all right, Microsoft Word should be easy. You just write down words. That's it. There's gonna be a spell check. There's gonna be some, just you just use spacebar, create a paragraph. That's it. And then, oh boy, when I started writing adventures, Microsoft Word is a totally different monster. Okay, so it is not. Yes, trying to format pages in Word is hell. You are correct, because it is difficult. It's hard to understand at first, and editing in Microsoft Word, if you're not familiar with it, there's a lot of tools. Microsoft Word has a lot of tools that will make your life easier. But if you don't know how to use them, it's gonna suck for you. So I suggest when you start writing your adventure, look at Microsoft, look at the template in Microsoft Word, try to figure out what they're actually read the comments that are written there, and don't just ignore it like other writers that's probably talking right now. Probably ignore it the first time. Read them, try to figure out what's going on. It will make your life easier. Okay. there. And so I was able, yeah, breaking down like doing a page break from one to the other, and then it messes everything up. Oh boy, that's memories, man. That's it's a good thing. Me and Microsoft Word are friends now. Yeah. So that's what's gonna happen. And then in this same paragraph, it tells you that you can only you, the author of this Dungeoncraft adventure, can run this adventure, or if you have a co-designer, only up to two people can run the adventure that you both created. So if me and my wife write an adventure, it's just me and my wife that can basically run on that adventure. Other people, I can't give it to someone and then have them run it. They can run it, but it's not going to be an Adventures League game. If you want it to be an Adventures League legal game, it can only be ran by me and you, or me and my wife. So, or whoever your co-designer is. So that's what they're trying to say. It until you publish it in DM's Guild. Once you publish it in DM's Guild, you follow all the rules, you have it on DM's Guild, then anyone can run it. So that's the goal. So how do you publish, right? How do you publish your adventure? You have the option to publish your adventure on DM's Guild, which is dmsguild.com. If you choose to do so, it must appear for sale within 6 months of when you first run it for players, not playtesters. Oh, this is new. This is new. There are no exceptions to this rule. If you do not publish your adventure, you can continue to DM it for 1 year from the first time you run it. After that time, unpublished adventures are no longer available in the Adventures League. That's new because before there's like a set timeline. Like you can only create Dungeoncraft adventure and publish it until this particular date. But here, I guess in Eberron, because there's no new content coming out from it, like officially from Wizards of the Coast, what they're telling us is that if you run this for a group of people, to a certain group of players, and you plan to publish it, you must do so within 6 months. All right. So if I run a game today, December 29th, January, February, March, April, May, June, it has to be published before June 29th, or else I can no longer publish it. I can still run it, me and my co-designer, but we cannot publish it anymore after June 29 or after 6 months. Yeah. Yep. I bet you it's the same criteria in the other realms. This sounds like a way to keep unpublished modules seasonal. Yep. I think so, but there you go. This is a new rule that we have. I guess this is how they're going to approach campaigns. Yeah, realms that doesn't have regular updates. Like in the Forgotten Realms, every year, every 6 months or so, or 8 months, there's like a new adventure book coming out. But here in Eberron and Ravenloft, and I'm assuming Dragonlance as well, there's not going to be a lot. So this is how they're going to approach that. Accessibility. So there's also the option for there's also an option for producing a more accessibility friendly version of your adventure, to be included when posting to dmsguild.com. All right. So that is good. If you can actually create like a accessibility friendly version of your adventure, that's awesome. And then art and graphic design. Your adventure must follow the template providing for layout, but may include art and other graphic design elements subject to the terms and conditions of DM's Guild. So that means you can't just grab someone's art and put it in your adventure. You can plagiarize. You can't just use like like somebody's layout and then use it on yours unless they are commercially available for use. So this is also something that I learned over the years as I write adventures, that stock art actually exists. Stock arts are basically artwork that have commercial use. So that means if you go to DriveThruRPG, if you go to dmsguild.com, there are a lot of stock art that you could use. Fantasy stock art. There's also other website like shutterstock.com that you can subscribe to and get some photos. And then what else? There's also like layout that you could use. I myself like there's a template provided by D&D Adventures League, but there are also like layout templates that you can get from DM's Guild, available for commercial use, and so many things that are, just purchase it for like $3, $4, and you can use them for your adventures, and that's great. Or if you can hire an artist if you want like a customized art and ask for like artwork that can be commercially used, and you're good to go. Okay, and you can create all of that in just Microsoft Word. What does exactly accessibility mean in that regard? Like a text document version, an audiobook? That they're not clear on that, but that's what I'm thinking. If like an audiobook version of it, or can you upload an audiobook? I don't think I've seen an audio file in dmsguild.com. But usually what we do is, which is not really accessibility friendly, is what we have is like the normal version with like the cover art and then interior artwork, layout, all that cool stuff. And then we have a printer friendly version, which is just kind of like black and white, easy to print, which is also easy to read because there's no other things kind of bothering you, no other colors that might bother you while looking at the text. It's just black and white, like this one, basically, like what we're reading now. But I don't know what else you could have in terms of accessibility friendly for a PDF file. Kind of limited there, right? Yeah. And I'm assuming you also need to have like content warning in place just to make sure that the adventure that they're playing is something that they're comfortable with. And yeah. So that's what we have. How do we craft your adventure? All right. What do we need to do? Your adventure should ideally be written for a 2-hour or 4-hour playtime. Adventures with shorter playtimes are not allowed, so you cannot create a 1-hour adventure. And while longer adventures are allowed, they are treated as 4-hour adventures for the purposes of rewards. You must note your adventure playtime in the description of your adventure. So what you have now is 2 hours and 4 hours. You can write for 8 hours or 10-hour adventure, but it will still be tagged as a 4-hour adventure for the purposes of rewards, right? So you can do that. But you cannot say that your adventure is a 1 hour or 1.5 hour. It has to be like 2-hour adventure minimum. Before there's a guide, if you're writing a 2-hour adventure, it's usually like 5,000 words. If it's a 4-hour adventure, it's 10,000 words. That's the guide before. Sometimes you go over or under that word count, but having that guide helps you kind of make sure that you're on track. There. Using monsters. So what monsters can we use when writing an adventure, a Dungeoncraft adventure for Eberron? It must use the Monsters Compendium, Volume 1, which is located in D&D Beyond. It's free. Okay. So we can use that one. Volume 1 is the one with Spelljammer monsters. The one with the Eldritch Lich, right? The really cool looking Lich. Yeah. And then obviously Eberron Rising from the Last War, Fizban's Treasury of Dragons, and Monster Manual, and Mordenkainen presents Monsters of the Multiverse. So there's a lot of resources here actually. That can be sources for creatures and NPCs. Stat blocks must appear as printed. Note that if you are using an NPC stat block and need to add racial abilities, you can animate it in the body text similarly to as follows. Like Hugret is a gnome cult fanatic, that's the monster stat, with the following characteristics. The size is small instead of medium. The speed is 25 feet instead of 30. It has dark vision 60 feet because they're gnomes. and knows the language Gnomish and Common because, again, it's a gnome. And if a monster possesses spells and you want to swap one of monster spells or equivalent level, the new spell must come from the player's handbook only. That's it. You cannot use other sources. Innate spellcasting features cannot have their spells swapped. So you have monsters that have innate spellcasting. You cannot change that. But you do have monsters that have like a spell book. And you can change the spell though. You can change it with the same level of spell. But the spell must come from player's handbook. That's it. Okay. So if you're making the changes, how does that work? So you have the monster stat written in your adventure, and then below it you'll have like a small sidebar with the changes that you want to make. So like what we just read here. So it's cult fanatic, a gnome cult fanatic, small instead of medium, knows these languages, can cast this instead of that. There. How can I optimize my Archmage BBEG if only PHB spells? Maybe in the future. I think they're kind of testing the waters for now. Yeah. And like if everybody, because again, I don't see it. Sure, it will make it easier for players who don't have access to extra books. But if you don't, Wizards of the Coast, I'm sure they want to make money, right? So I'm sure they want a lot of their supporters, those who use the books, their players, to use all the books as much as possible. But I think for now, they're testing the waters. If you guys behave, you follow the rules, you're good at following it. We're not making anything. We're not like, shifting the balance too much in terms of encounters. Then maybe we can add more books in the future. For now, let's just have Player's Handbook, because that's how Adventures League have done it in the past. And I'm positive that they'll add more books in the future if we behave as community content creators. How does it work if I apply a species to an NPC monster and the species have something different? Like High Elf has cantrips, for example. So yeah, you create a sidebar below the stat block. So a sidebar, if you're familiar with Adventures League, you have those brown box with text inside that says like how to adjust the encounter, or like this NPC name, how do you handle it, things like that. And it's like a meta message, basically. So here what you're going to do is, if you're going to use the Cult Fanatic stat block, you write it in your adventure, and then below it, you create this brown sidebar text and say brown background with black text. The sidebar text that says, the Cult Fanatic is a high elf with the following changes, has this cantrip in addition to what's written in the stat block. That's it. Yeah. I'm always scared of changing CR of the monster. Yeah, and there's also a guide in the link that I sent a while ago. It's probably buried in the chat now. Scroll up a little bit. If you get the Designer's Pack in DM's Guild, there's a guide on like how to keep this CR or challenge rating of a monster. How do we not change it? And at times it will be difficult, and at times there will be some combinations that will be more powerful, like a race combined with a monster stat that will be powerful than it's supposed to. But again, that's okay. They're allowing us to do that. So yeah. So the link that you're seeing in the chat, that's for Spelljammer Dungeoncraft Guide. But it has the templates that you can use for Eberron and Ravenloft. Okay? All right, so we have the monsters. What else can we have? All right. Last paragraph. Include the spell changes in your annotated summary of changes. Do not change the stat block. I repeat, do not change anything there. How you see it in Eberron book, in Monsters Manual, in Monsters Compendium, keep it. All right? Don't touch it. Just copy paste, which is another very difficult thing to do from from your PDF file or source book, whatever, and then putting it into Microsoft Word. Yeah. Annotated. What did I say? Annotated. I need to annotated. Okay, thank you. All right. Annotated. Okay. Kept skipping the middle T. I think it's the accent, right? But yeah, all right. Good to know. Good to know. Annotated. Okay. And what else do we have? So that's it. Do not change the stat block. And adventure setting. Adventure setting. Here we go. Your adventure must take place in the world of Eberron, whether that is on the continent of Corvair. Oh man, I haven't heard this place. I haven't heard the word Corvair in a very long time. I think it's like pre-pandemic when I heard Corvair, or any of the distant lands of that world. These stories must all occur in the current timeline of the world, post Last War, which is kind of like their big event, cataclysmic event that happened in the world of Eberron. And yeah, I haven't played Eberron since like 2003 or something. That's a long time ago. Yeah. And Eberron stories typically include pulp adventure, noir intrigue, or occasionally war stories focused on the aftermath of the last war on the lands and people. Your adventure is not required to have specific connections to previously published Eberron Oracle of War campaign adventures. So there, that's it. And also just to make sure we're clear on how the stream goes. Again, this is a place where we learn together. This is a place where we extract lore as much as possible. This is also a place how we learn how to write properly, pronounce things properly. So if you see like people correcting me on how to pronounce it, that's perfectly fine. That's how it's supposed to be. If there are things that are wrong here, or like I say something that's wrong, that's wrong, feel free to correct me in the chat, because again, we're here. This is supposed to be a learning environment for all of us. We're all D&D sages here. So if you know something that I don't or chat doesn't know, feel free to put it. We're not gonna make we're not gonna throw stones at you for for trying to butt in and correct us, or trying to embarrass you and make you feel like smart shame you, anything like. No. All right, we don't do that here. We're all sages. We're all mature sages, as I would like to say, and we're here. This is a place of learning. No mod abuse here, if I'm wrong. Yes, I hope so. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, of course. Again, everyone here. This is a place of learning for all of us. So, there. So I'm just, for those first time watching, first time joining us on stream, you might be a bit surprised with the culture that we have here on the stream. Like, what the hell is that guy saying? Like, telling Paul all that stuff. Yeah, it's just how it goes here. Okay. And yeah, sometimes it's embarrassing. Yeah, I make a lot of mistakes. It's embarrassing, but I have a thick face. I can handle it. So, let's go. Anyway, next part, rewards. Below, you will find your 4 table magic items. All right, let's see what we can get as rewards. Consumables can be from any allowed Eberron campaign source. Most are in DM's Guide and Dungeon Master's Guide. So DMG. Choose the magic item rewards for your adventure from these table using the following restrictions. Okay, so remember, they told us we can make 2 hours or 4-hour adventure. We can make longer than 4 hours, but it's gonna be tagged as a 4-hour adventure. If we're doing a 2-hour tier 1, we talked about this last stream, like what's tier 1 and what's tier 4. So tier 1 is level 1 to 4 characters. We can have 1 item from table A and up to 3 common consumable or 1 uncommon consumable. All right. items. If it's a 4-hour adventure, we can get item from table A, one from table B, and then 3 common or uncommon consumable items. If it's a 2-hour for tier 2, meaning you're creating an adventure for level 5 to 10 characters, we get one from items the table C, and then the consumables. If it's 4-hour, we get one from table C, and then one from table B, and then 3 consumables again. And we can write. Look at this. Look how much trust they have in us now. Because I think we've been good kids. The community has been good and behave. I think that now they're letting us create tier 3, right? We can create adventures for level 11 to 16. So before, it's kind of hard, kind of difficult. I think there's only one instance before the Dungeoncraft program where you can create a tier 3 adventure. Because again, it's the balancing. If you're a first-time adventure writer, you have no idea how to properly balance the encounters. You just kind of reading it off the internet. There might be times that you might make mistakes, right? But that's okay. What they're trying to prevent here is those that will try to abuse it, right? So we give you the power to write a high-tier adventure, but you might use all of these magic items, just have like a basic adventure, like a super go to the gate, get that item, adventure done, and you get this super powerful item. That's what the Adventures League admins or Wizards of the Coast is trying to prevent. But now, since we've been good, we're not abusing it. If we see someone abusing the system, we report it in the official D&D Discord, or we email it to Wizards of the Coast. So now they're letting us create high-tier adventure. And soon, hopefully, they'll also allow us to create tier 4 adventures, right? If we continue to be nice, behave community in terms of creating Dungeoncraft adventures, we might have tier 4, right? So tier 4 is level 17 to 20. Imagine putting like a terrace there, and then you can have like a legendary item reward, all that cool stuff, right? So hopefully in the future. Yeah, there's not a lot of tier 4 adventures, and Wizards of the Coast barely releases like hardcover adventures that reaches up to tier 4. I think it's only Waterdeep Dungeon of the Mad Mage that goes up to level 20. Other than that, if I remember, other than that, that's it. So we have table D if you're doing a tier 3 adventure, and then table B, and then the consumables don't change. 3 common and uncommon, and then we have table A to D that we can use for magic items. You may also add 1 minor property or quirk for each non-consumable magic item. So see DMG. Properties must come from tables in the Dungeon Master's Guide. You're permitted to add these properties if you're using adventure seeds, which we're gonna look at later as well. This is good because when you one of the things I like when I play adventure modules is like when I play D&D, when I get a magic item, I'll get a +1 sword, for example. And that's cool. All right, it's magical. Mechanically, it's more powerful than a common mundane sword. But if you get a cool fluff, right? Like the sword is made from the back, like the spine of like a lich, like the long gone lich named, I don't know, Malzahar or something, then that makes that +1 sword cooler, right? And that's what I want to see. Like it's made from diamond, like it's like a Minecraft sword, right? You have that. It might be funny, witty, whatever, but having like the description, the fluff of it is good. But now you can also like to kind of assist or enhance this part of magic item reward even further. They're letting us add one minor property. Like some of the properties here, like it makes a noise or something, or you can't let go of the sword or of the weapon, something like that. Like it has a personality or a quirk. Like if it sees an orc, it glows, something like that, right? So yeah, non-mechanical fluff. It's all good stuff, and especially if you're a character and you have like a theme for a character, like you're an edgy warlock that can summon weapons, and then you have a +1 sword with like tiny, I don't know, rat skulls floating around the hilt or like orbiting the hilt of the sword. Isn't that cool, right? It has no mechanical effect, but it looks badass, or it's like covered in like dark flame or something. Yeah, there. I'm gonna stop mumbling. Anyway, so that's what we can get. Treasures such as coins, gems, art objects, and any other portable, mundane valuables with no other practical use than as currency count toward the gold rewards listed. Other portable items listed in the equipment section of the player's handbook may also be obtained during adventures, such as weapons like leather armor, sickles, daggers, things like that. Any spellbook included should only include spells listed in the NPC stat block, right? So if you're giving wizard players some love in your adventure and you're dropping a spellbook, because remember, in the previous documents and the player's guide that we read, players can copy spells from spellbooks, right? They can even copy spells from other player characters' spellbook. So here, if you want to drop a spellbook in your adventure, need to make sure that the spells available there is the one written on the NPC stat block, right? The budget for these items is 1,000 gold pieces per tier of play for a 4-hour adventure, and 500 gold pieces for 2-hour adventure. So no plate mail, because I think plate mail is expensive, right? It's more than 1,000 gold pieces, so you're not gonna get that. Trade goods, mounts, and vehicles are story items when placed in an adventure. Okay. The wizards are so smart. Why do they need to copy? I don't know. Any wizard spellcasters here? I'm not a wizard main. I avoid all the hassle of copying spells and try to find scrolls. I do have a wizard character, a necromancer, named Erebos. But after that, that's it. All the base wizards only use spells from other wizards. Right? That's a way of bragging, right? That's a way of conquering, knowing that you're the most powerful. I'm not gonna use my own. I'm gonna use your spells against you, and you know how powerful I am based on the number of spells that I have acquired. Yeah. Anyway, gold rewards. So the gold rewards are based on tier, so level tier and time. The amounts listed below are 4-hour adventures. This is total gold for the group, all right, not individual rewards. So not 50 gold each. It's 50 for the group. Treasures such as gems, coins, art objects, and anything else portable that isn't adventuring gear count towards this gold reward. So we can have, for tier 1, we can give 50 gold to 250. For tier 2, we can give 500 to 2,500 gold pieces in reward. So you can say that in this room in the dungeon, you find a diamond worth 300 gold pieces. You can't have that on a tier 1 adventure because, again, the limit is only 250. But if you're running it or creating a tier 2 adventure, you can put a 300 diamond or artwork, art object, or just coins, put it all in copper pieces. So what's that? 300 gold, 3,000, 30,000 copper pieces. You'll find it in one room. And there. Tier 3, you get as a group, as a party, you can get up to 25,000 gold pieces. That's a lot. We've been reading Moonshade Adventures. You know how hard the life is there, like 3 gold pieces and you're like set for a month or so. And here you're getting like 25,000 gold for like one adventure that is like 4 hours long. Wow, they got it good. These guys got it good. And this is only for a 2-hour play. If we're doing like a 4-hour adventure, it's gonna get doubled. 500, 5,000, 50,000 gold pieces for the party in one 4-hour adventure. This Tarask mount doesn't feed itself. It's still expensive, yeah. But yeah, so you divide, if there's 6 of you, or like, let's just say 5 for easier math. So each one gets like 10,000 gold pieces. You can buy any equipment you want in Player's Handbook, no problem. Even plate mail, you can buy a few of those. And then, wow, that's a lot. Okay. And then story awards. So story awards, again, they don't really have any mechanical benefit outside of the adventures that you make. So and these can never provide a mechanical I just said it mechanical benefit or be used to get around limits to rewards listed above. All right. Frequently, it is better to have a note in a sequel adventure for the dungeon master. If the player has played X, then they know why, than to give the player as a story award. So these are like cool. Again, this is more for like story-wise, for roleplay. For example, you've defeated a monster, a Tarask, and you get a story award called Tarask Slayer, right? You have that. Just something that you can brag about. And when you play another adventure, hopefully by the same author, and there's like there's some sort of benefit, like roleplay benefit. If you have that story award, like your dungeon master will go, anyone here have the Tarask Slayer story award? Because if you do, then they will let you stay at the inn for free, give you food, breakfast, lunch, dinner, all for free, because they know that you've saved their town before from a Tarask attack, right? So you have that. That's usually the use of story awards. You cannot use it like you get an additional +2 weapon of your choice if you have the Tarask Slayer story award. No, that's not how it works. Or you get +5 temporary hit points every time you play, as long as you have this story award. Nope, no mechanical benefits. All right. The benefit that it should have could be from like a roleplay standpoint, but not like something that will improve your character mechanically. For module writers, a good way to enact grudges and stuff between modules. Yeah. So you angered like the chieftain of this tribe, or like the vampire lord from this area, then you get like the ire of vampire of Alucard or something, right? Or you're now like marked by Vampire Hunter D or something like that. So and what's cool as well is once you have the story award, other writers, if they want to use the story award as well, like if they like the adventure, like in Dragon's Breath, there's like a story award called 5-Leaf Clover Initiative, and then other writers want to use that, go ahead. Let me know if you're using it, so at least I can promote it, right? But or let the author know that you're trying to use their story award. But again, that would be cool, right? So you're kind of like collaborating in a sense. If you have those story awards and being used on different adventures from different authors or writers. Now, some fine print, additional guide. At your option, you can publish your adventure on a DM's guild. Until you publish, only the designer can and maximum of 2 individuals can run the adventure. The AL content managers do not need to review your adventure for you to run or publish it. Before, they have to review it, and it's kind of like a bottleneck. It's a big roadblock for publishing adventures because, again, it's just one person reviewing all of these requests. Now, it's an auto yes. They believe in us. They trust us that we're not going to take advantage of these rules. So it's auto approve until somebody reports that, something's wrong and it needs to be removed from DM's Guild. Please include stat blocks from any monster you use in your adventure that does not appear in the monster manual. So if you're using monsters from the monsters manual, you don't have to copy paste, which is good, right? But if you're using stat blocks from other source books like Eberron Rising from the Last War, put it in your adventure. Yeah. And then adventures must use the template provided. Yes. Okay. So how does this work? Because there are other people that might say, "Hey, Paul, or DMPaulG, you said we need to use a template in the link that you sent, right? And the designer's pack. How come we see other adventures that have like super cool templates that have a cover and like the font size for the titles are a bit different, things like that?" Again, you can use those. You can do that as long as you're following one, how the format is supposed to be. Like there are 2 columns, call to action, part 1 to part 4, the appendices, monster stat blocks, how your adventure should be written, and then you can add artwork, layout stuff, background on your adventure, and other design, as long as you're following the DM's Guild. Where is that? The DM's Guild rules. So like here, so the art and design, graphic design part. So as long as you follow this, you're good. And that's why if you look at the Adventures League adventure, the quality of the adventures there is so good. It has improved a lot, right? From before, it's only like black and white adventures. Now you have cover art, you have customized, commissioned, interior art, all that stuff is there. And some of them even look like official, or like as good as official WotC adventures. And that's how far we've come from, when this program started. It has made a lot of non-professional writers and made them good at writing adventures. And some of those, like me, even made it into like their full-time work. That's how this Dungeoncraft program has helped a lot of people in the community. And I think it started, I want to say, I'm not sure, but for me, based on how I see things, I think it started with, what's the name of that adventure? But it started with Anthony Joyce, I want to say. When he released Heir of Orcus. When is that? There you go. Heir of Orcus. Not Horcus. I don't know why. Or Heir of Orcus. I'm trying to find it in, so I can send it to you guys. Where are you? Here. So when this thing came out, this is a community created content, which is like the before Dungeoncraft came out. This came out in 2018. Right? Before, when adventures are coming out in 2018, they're just like black and white adventure, including a Dragon's Breath. It's just black and white, very basic. And then Anthony Joyce released this adventure, and if you look like the the full preview, the way it looks. It has like cover art. There's like maps inside. It's still kind of black and white inside, but there's more. There's like interior art now. There's a cover. There's like a comic panel. It changed the game. And it's like, if you wanna produce something good, if you want it to be seen by people, you gotta create like quality product, and which is what we want. We want to make sure that when we're buying something really good. So there. Does that mean that when I start my first Dungeoncraft adventure, I need to have all these ready? No, you don't. You don't have to. You can just follow the template, do it. You're just starting out, no problem. You can do that. But this is just a way for, to challenge the creators that you can do better and produce better for the community, right? That's going to be playing your adventure. But if you're just starting out, you have a solid story, go publish it however you want. No one's going to stop you, all right? But if you're here to get the attention of everyone, make sure they all purchase your product, make sure they play your adventure. It's not the story most of the time is not enough. It's a big chunk, very big chunk, but making them look at your adventure now, because there's so many adventures coming out, so many Dungeoncraft adventures coming out. If they want them to stop and look at your adventure, it's gonna be the cover that's gonna make them stop first, right? And then click on that link and then read, and then once they look at the adventure, the content warning and everything, then they might press buy. Yeah. And with the advent of AI art, AI, again, that's a very, very, very delicate subject. All right, and you could say that again. If you say that you're pro AI, there are no-nos there because of like the artist who actually makes the art and where AI gets some of the concepts from those art. But then if I say that I'm not pro AI, and then 50 years from now, 100 years from now, when we have our robot overlords look at this video and see that I'm not pro AI, that's gonna be a problem for me. All right, so that's my only concern. I'm not. That's my only concern. That's why I can't make a choice, because if I say I'm pro AI, I have a lot of artist friends and I want to support them. I love their artwork. I wanna it's hard to spend money on getting their artwork because art is not cheap. But at the same time, they deserve that price. So you invest in them, right? Especially if they're your friends. But if you say no to AI art, for now it's okay. But 100 years from now, when everything's controlled by AI, and they, for some reason, like what's happening on Twitter, they look at your post like 4 years, 10 years ago. I'm sure, or like the Terminator robots, when they look at this 100 years from now, I'm gonna be in big trouble. If not, like my family in the future will be in trouble. So yeah. So pro tip for anyone looking for art, the more specific the request, the more you want an artist and the more you're gonna pay. Yeah, so that's why you have, if you are on a budget, stock art is available. If you go to Dungeon Masters Guild, DMsguild.com, Wizards of the Coast is providing free stock art. So these are like old artwork from previous books. They're really old, like from like 3rd edition books. There are even some like Eberron art there, because I know there's like Warforged art there included. They're free. You can get it. You can use it if you're publishing an adventure in DM's Guild. But if you want something more, yeah, you're gonna spend more. Yeah. AI is inevitable, not just for art. I wonder if novel AI or chat GPT can write Dungeoncraft. Yeah, you know what? When that happens, I'm gonna be in the same boat. It's like, oh man,
AI knows what, like they can write better. Like grammar is not an issue for them because they know all the rules. Right? And they can recall every event that has happened because it's all there. But yep. So I'm not gonna take a stance on the whole AI thing. That's what I'm saying. Uh, but what else? What else? Where are we? Fine print. When, this is important, when published on a DM's Guild, your adventure must use the EB-DC code to identify it as a Dungeoncraft adventure intended for use as part of the Eberron campaign. This code should appear in the upper left corner of your cover. If you intend to write multiple adventures, then we suggest that you consider using a 3-letter identifier in your code, such as the domain name, so people can quickly find them. For example, there's an example that we have. EB-DC-War-01 for the first adventure in a series set during the minor border war between Brayland and Thrain. So remember in the player's guide, I think more on Dungeon Master's Guide, that document that we read the other day, we love codes, right? And this is why we talk about the different adventure types with the codes and everything. Now, if we're playing Dungeoncraft Adventure, if you're publishing one, it needs to have a code as well, so we can easily recognize it that it's a Eberron Dungeoncraft Adventure. So it needs to have the EBDC code on the cover, and then you can add your abbreviation or whatever letters you want to add there. Like, again, this is a good example. EB-War-01, and then say, the War Horn. That's the title of your adventure. You can have that. For me, I could say like EB-DC-DMPG, right? I could use that code, -01. Or that's it. If there's no series, just DMPG, and then say whatever adventure that I want to write about. So code, having a code is important. What else? The DDAL community created logo, which is provided in the template, and the DM's Guild logo, which is again provided in the template, and the logo you can find in dmsguild.com, must appear on the cover. It's a requirement, not just by Adventures League, but also by DM's Guild. Every published item on DM's Guild must have the DM's Guild logo on the cover. No other logo should appear on the cover. So I can't have my DMPaulG logo there. I can have the Greasy Snitches logo. Not on the cover, at least. You can have it like on the page after. Put all the logos you want. Dear future AI overlord, let the record that stand that DMPaulG was a fence sitter about AI superiority. I don't know. All right, I want to go in between humanity and AI. That's it. Maybe AI will be nice to me in the future. We'll see. I call them Terminator though, but that's because of the movies. All right. Where are we? The logo. So we have the logos. All Dungeoncraft Adventures published on DM's Guild must abide by the rules provided by DM's Guild. If you don't know what that is, go to dmsguild.com. Scroll down. Like at the bottom part, there's like for creators there. Click on that. There are several links like how to publish an adventure, things that you must, like the do's and don'ts, like if AI is allowed, AI art is allowed or not, things like that. There. And then lastly, adventures must be written for a single table of players. These cannot be epics and multi-table events. So we cannot write multi-table adventures. That's basically what they're telling us. They're kind of reserving that for, let's say, premier organizers like GameHoldCon and Ballman Games, which I'm part of, or the official AL group themselves. Important. This is very important. Dungeoncraft adventures can be removed from DM's Guild at any time for failing to meet these standards. those prescribed by the DM's Guild, or for any other reason deemed necessary by Wizards of the Coast. Additionally, any designers publishing a Dungeoncraft adventure on the DM's Guild or running one that does not follow these rules can have their ability to continue to create and publish sanctioned content under these rules suspended or revoked. If you want to be on the bad side of Wizards of the Coast or the AL team, this is what you do. You write a tier 1 adventure, you put all legendary items there, you create your own stat block, you create your own monsters, you don't follow the format, you put some very disgusting stuff there that may not be appropriate. That's how you're gonna get revoked, or at least you're not you to be revoked, but you're asked to create more to be revoked. But I just wanna, before we move on to the next part, where is that? There is something here. Adventures link here, yeah. So at your option, you can publish your adventure on the DM's Guild, but until published, only 2 people can run it. So remember last time I told you, our last stream when we're reading the player's guide and DM's guide, there's AL's cool because it has it kind of gives you like limiters and in terms of what you can and cannot do, and make sure that there's balance in the game. Because again, this is organized play. Everybody can play at different tables, right? So there's has to be like some sort of same level experience at every table. And then when you run AL games, you have to run pre-written adventures. So either Dungeoncraft, hardcover adventures, officially published adventures, things like that. You don't have a way to create your own stories or your quote-unquote homebrew content, right? And what if I don't want to publish? I just want to run an adventure for my group. And none of these pre-written adventures are kind of in, not in your something that you don't want to run. This is the alternative. You use the Dungeoncraft program and just write the adventure that you want for your group, wherever, and then run it for the players. If it's just gonna be you, it's your own personal thing. The Dungeoncraft program is giving you an out, an option. You can write your own adventure. You don't have to publish it. It's basically your way of creating your own campaign, right? So as long as you follow the rules, like the rewards, the setting, and everything. Okay. And since you're not really publishing it, you don't have to edit it. You don't have to, there's no point in following the template because you're not really publishing it, right? But you just need to make sure that there's call to action, part 1, part 2, part 3, part 4. The rewards are the same. The settings the same. The rules are there. You're not going to publish it. And if it's all going to be like bullet points for each part of the adventure, and then that's for you. But this is basically your way of creating your own adventure for your own players, right? And you can run that adventure for a year, if I'm right. I think, yeah. If you choose to do so, it must appear within 6 months. After that time, unpublished adventures are no longer available in DMC. Where's that? If you do not publish your adventure, you can continue to DM it for 1 year. All right. So yeah, so you have 1 year to run your own unpublished adventure. So that is cool, right? So we have that option. AL is giving us that option. So AL is very easy to run. It's flexible. You just have to read the rules, read the documents, And that's what turns off some people to in playing Adventurers League, because you have to keep updated. Others, like me, like it because it's how, like, all right, I want to navigate through all these documents and find all these rules and make sure that I know everything, like what we're doing now. All right, so for me, this is fun. For others, may not be as fun. So if this is your thing, technically you could do whatever you want. Magic item rewards. All right, this is we have table A to D, right? So let's see what we get. So uncommon items. These are the items that you can get on Dungeoncraft Adventure set in Eberron, basically. You have Goggles of Night, Bag of Holding, which is good. Finder's Goggles. What does that do? Let me check. How do I check? All right. Finder's Goggles. Finder's Goggles. It's an uncommon item, requires attunement by a creature with a mark of finding. I know that, like, for everyone, there are like marks, like houses, and you have mark by mark of finding. The lenses of these garish goggles are carved from Cyberus. I don't know. Oh, I think this is one of the dragons. Yeah. Cyberus Dragon Shard. That's probably not how you pronounce the name. Cyberus Dragon Shard. So yeah, because they have here in Eberron, they have like magic shards. There are like USBs, or like external hard drive and stuff. While wearing these lenses, you gain the following benefits. So here you have these dragon shards that can that's basically lenses, and you gain the following. When you make an insight check, you can roll a d4 and add that to the check. As an action, you can use the goggles to examine an object to identify the aura of the last creature that touched it. You can make an insight, and then so you get a d4 bonus, and then against a DC equal to 13 plus the number of days since the last contact occurred. So this is like an investigator, like, goggles that you have there. On a success, you learn the creature's type and immediately use the goggles to cast Locate Creature to find that creature. Wow, that is a good. Cyberus. Is it Cyberus? Am I reading that right? Cyberus? Yeah, it's not Cyber. Cyberus. I don't know. I hope you're right. Because I believe in you. I believe in you, chat. All right. Yeah, so if it's Cyberus, yeah, I think it's one of the 3 dragons, right? Of Eberron. All right, I'm really bad. I'm bad at pronouncing stuff, but you're starting to figure that out. Anyway, so you had the Finder's Goggles, not Googles. It's Finder's Goggles. Periap of Health. The Periap, I think. The Periap of Health is immune to disease. And then Hat of Disguise, we know that. Javelin of Lightning, you throw it, there's like lightning stuff coming out and like deals like lightning damage. Goes through as well, like the enemies. Rod of the Pack Keeper, if you're a warlock, this is good for you. Ring of Warmth, you want to stay warm. If you're staying in Icewind Dale. Rope of Climbing, it's a magical rope. Pearl of Power, I forgot what Pearl of Power is. Does it like store a spell? Pearl of Power. Regain an expended spell slot. Okay, that's what you could do with Pearl of Power. Earworm. All right, this is the one that we want to learn. Earworm. So it requires attunement. To attune to this symbiont, you must hold it against the skin. You must hold it against the skin behind your ear for the entire attunement period, which is 1 hour. Okay. whereupon it burrows, oh, holy crap, into your head and bonds to your skull. Oh boy. While the earworm, am I getting the right item? All right, yeah. While the earworm is inside you, you can speak, read, and write deep speech. Ooh. Okay. And you got spells. The earworm has 4 charges you can cast: Detect Thoughts, Dissonant Whispers. Yeah, so those you have. So 2 charges for Detect Thoughts, 1 charge for Dissonant Whispers. And every time you use the earworm to cast Detect Thoughts, it sends the information gleam to the nearest Dalekir, which I don't know what a Dalekir is, or to the next nearest earworm until it reaches a Dalekir. Oh, it's part of a network. I'm thinking a Dalekir is like a super powerful mind flayer, or the hive mind thing, the big man. Why am I forgetting the name of these monsters? Yeah, whatever. And then you can recharge this. Okay. The earworm can be removed from you while you're attuned to it, and you can't voluntarily end your attunement to it. If you're targeted by a spell that ends a curse, then that's how you can remove the earworm. Okay. The Dalekir are a race originating in the Eberron campaign, saying Lords of the Plane of Zoriat, a realm of madness. They are immortal and immensely powerful and have legions of monsters created by them, like beholders, mind flayers, and other kinds of aberrations at their command. Oh. But is a Dalekir, do a Dalekir look like a mind flayer also? Let me Google that. Dalekir. What does a Dalekir look like? It's just like, I think they all look different. It has like different parts. It's like a chaotic, like different limbs, head, and there's like one of the BBG of Eberron. I think they don't have a standard look. Yeah, I'm googling doing Google image on Dalekir. They all look different. But that's cool because the earworm, whenever you read someone's thoughts, the earworm kind of sends it like a virus to another earworm nearby, like the nearest earworm, and then to another earworm until it reaches a Dalekir. And then the Dalekir knows what's happening in its area, right? That is Big Brother. All right. And then Wand of Magic Detection. Okay, you have that. For table B, all right, we're gonna have more stuff. All right, what do we have? Dalekir kind of remind me of Chaos Legions, where you have these mutants that graft things onto them. Yep. Grafters and Magic the Gathering. Yep, exactly. We got more Eberron cool stuff. All right, let's go through this because why not, right? It's cool. Armblade. I think this is for Warforge. Basically gives you an arm blade so as a weapon. So it's a magic weapon, attaches to your arm. It can only be attuned to a Warforge, and which is like a unique race in Eberron, for now, right? But yeah, I think this Warforge is originally from Eberron. Right now, you can only get them in Eberron, but we don't know what will happen in the future. Anyway, as you attune to this item, you must hold it against your forearm for the entire attunement period. And as a bonus action, you can retract the arm blade into your forearm and extend it from there. Yeah, it's kind of like attached to you. And then it has like different weapon types. So from daggers, flail, hand axe, hook, whatever you want. Even a trident, even a war pick, even a whip. That one's kind of cool. Cleansing Stone. So it's a common item. So these are now common items. It's written. Table B, common items. Cleansing stone is a sphere 1 foot in diameter, engraved with mystic sigils. When touching the stone, you can use an action to activate it and remove dirt and grime from your garments and your person. Such stones are often embedded in pedestals, in public squares, on there, or in high-end Galanda inns. Oh, nice. Something to clean you up. So you have... It's like soap, but it cleans your clothes. And it's a stone. Okay. I like it. Everbright lantern, I'm assuming, is a lantern that provides light. Is there anything special with this? It just produces a continual flame spell. Okay. And then imbued wood focus. Which wood must be specified in the adventure? Oh, okay. What does that do? Is a rod, staff, or wand cut from a tree, infused with extraplanar energy. If you're a spellcaster, you can use it as a spell focus. When you cast a damage dealing spell, using this item as your spellcasting focus, you gain a +1 bonus to 1 damage roll of the spell, provided the damage is of the type associated with the item's wood. That's why it asks us to indicate what type of wood. So you can have Fernian Ash, which is fire, will give you +1 to fire. Aryan Rosewood, I'm probably mispronouncing some of these stuff, which is radiant. Kitrian Manchineel, which is acid or poison. Lamanian Oak, which is lightning or thunder. Mabaran Ebony, which is necrotic. Rizian Pine, cold. Shavaran Birch, which is force. And Zorian Wenge, psychic. Okay, that's what we get. These are cool stuff. Orb of Shielding. I'm guessing we're getting plus on AC. Use your reaction to reduce the damage by 1d4 depending on the damage type you receive. So depending on the type of wood. So, or sorry, not the wood. Depending on the material, basically. So we have fire radiant acid, so you have everything there as well. All right. Prosthetic limb. So if you want, you want to attach like an extra limb on you, or you're missing one, you want to have that. That's cool to have. Time to look up types of wood. Yeah, I don't know what that is. I don't even know if I'm saying those things right. But what I learned, because prosthetic limb, right? You usually think, all right, so I'm missing a leg or an arm. I put it there, and I can have a prosthetic limb. So I can use an extra arm or leg. But what I figured out is you can also use it as a tail. So if you're a human and you use prosthetic limb, you can have a tail if you don't have one. So that's a cool hack that I learned. So if your character is into cosplay, or want to be like someone that has a tail, get this item. Cool stuff. Shift weave. What is a shift weave? Up to 5 different outfits can be embedded into the cloth. While wearing the clothing, you can speak a command word as a bonus action and transform your outfit into your choice of one of the other designs. Regardless of its appearance, the outfit can't be anything but clothing, although it can duplicate and the look of other magical clothing and doesn't gain their magical properties. All right. That one is cool. Because, yeah, shift weave is cool because I only had to wear one set of clothes, like, and then I can just change it for 5 days, right? This I like this one. Spell shard. I think this is where you could store spell, right? Eberron shard fits in the hand, stores information similar to a book. All right, so this is it. This is the RUSB, the spell shard. The shard can hold an equivalent of one book that's no more than 320 pages long. And okay. And you can basically use this like as a spell book, I'm assuming. Yeah. Yeah, a wizard can use spell shard as a spell book. So yeah, that's cool. Shift weave feels like a poor man's hat of disguise. Yeah. And then wand sheet. Did I read that right? Yeah. Wand sheet. Wand sheet clamps onto your arm and imparts the following benefits. Can't be removed from you while you're attuned to it. You can insert a wand into a sheet as an action. Can hold only one wand at a time. You can retract or extend a wand from the sheet as a bonus action if you want. Yeah, because I think wands are kind of important for like spellcasters and like for the people of Eberron. Like wands are like the guns in Eberron, I think. I might be wrong. I'm probably wrong. I'm probably not remembering that right. But that's what's in my head, right? So ignore that part. The wand sheet. Okay, so it's just it's where you put your wand. Cast off armor, something that you can remove easily. You can doff this armor as an action. Yep. And mystery key. What do we get? Gotcha. It's a gotcha key. A question mark is worked into the head of this key. The key has a 5% chance of unlocking any lock into which it's inserted. Once it unlocks something, the key disappears. 5%? Do you know how big that is? I have played so many gotcha games. That's like 0.6% chance of getting like a 5-star or S-class character, things like that. This is 5%. This is big. That's a powerful item. I like that. 1 in 20. Oh, okay. Yeah, that works. You just roll a d20 then. Okay, and then Table C, rare items. Okay, so ventilating lungs. Oh, okay, we get like what's this? Cyborg lungs? Is this gonna be like cyberpunk? Cyborg. Why am I typing cyborg? Ventilating lungs. Requires attunement. Metallic nodules. What can it? When you attune to these lungs, they replace the lungs in your chest. Oh, that's gonna hurt. Which disappear. It's gonna replace your lungs. Your lungs inside are gonna disappear. The lungs allow you to breathe normally even in an anti-magic field, and their breathing function can't be suppressed by magic. So you can, okay. Even anti-magic field can't stop it. These lungs allow you to breathe normally in any environment, including a vacuum. You can go to space. And as long as you have ventilating lungs and you can breathe, no need for a suit. All right. Yeah, because including vacuum, and you have advantage on saving throws against harmful gases like cloud kill, stinking cloud, all that stuff. As an action, you can use these lungs to exhale a gust of wind. So you can basically cast like gust of wind spell. Once per dawn. If your attunement to the lungs end, your original lungs reappear. Oh, boo. They're not. They're not based enough. They're not strong enough. Like they should put it here. Like if you lose attunement to this item, that's it. You have no more lungs. It should be like that. But they added like a last sentence. If your attunement to the lungs end, your original one reappears. So yeah, nah. It's cool until I saw that last sentence. Like, you should commit. If you're creating something as cool as this, you should commit. Like, if you're brave enough to put a ventilating lungs in your body, you should know the consequences. Like, if it's gone, it's gone. You're dead. Unless you can survive without lungs. Alright, so we have Belt of Dwarven Kind, makes you grow a beard as well. Ring of Feather Falling, Bracers of Defense, Portable Hole, Staff of Healing. These are some cool items, rare items. Gem of Seeing, Shield +2, very good for Paladins. Parry up of Proof against Poison, okay, not so much. Armor +1, Light and Medium, so okay. Not for heavy armor. And a docent, is that how you say it? A docent is a small metal sphere, 2 inches across, studded with dragon shards. To attune to a docent, you must embed the item somewhere on your body, such as your chest or your eye socket. Okay? It can only be attuned by a warforge. Okay, I was about to get nervous there. And it's sentient. Has a intelligence 16, wisdom 14, charisma. It perceives the world through your senses, communicates telepathically, and can speak one language that you know. Has life support. Whenever you end your turn with 0 hit points, the docent can make a medicine check with a +6 bonus. If the check succeeds, it stabilizes you. That is good. That is good to have. But it's only for Warforged, but it's nice. Okay. It also has random properties, so languages, skills, like skill checks. It's good at Arcana, History, Investigation, Nature. But can only have one of those. What else? Knows one of the following spells. Detect evil and good, and detect magic. And personality, designed to advise and assist the Warforged it's attached to. So it's Siri. Okay. That's it. What else do we have? Those +2 weapon, no firearms. And that's it. Okay. No firearms. And then last one are very rare items. Ghost Step Tattoo. Alright. I know it's from Tasha's, but we're gonna read it anyway. Requires attunement. It's a very rare tattoo. And you basically tattoo it on yourself for you to attune to it. And you get a ghostly form. It has 3 charges and regains those charges at dawn. As a bonus action, while the tattoo is on your skin, you can use 1 charge to become incorporeal until the end of your next turn. Okay? So you have resistance to bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing. You can't, what else? You can't be grappled or restrained. And you can move through creatures and solid objects as if it's difficult terrain. Nice. Ironstone of Agility. Does it add dex? Ironstone, Agility. What does this do? Distance of your head. Okay, thereafter another creature must use its action to grasp the net. Okay. Your dexterity score increases by 2. Yep. So, wow, I like that one. That one's cool. All right, that's a strong Ironstone, and you can get it in a Dungeoncraft adventure. Arcane Propulsion Arm. I think this is for. No, it's not for Warforged. It can be attuned by a creature missing a hand or an arm. If you're Barret from like Final Fantasy VII, this is it. This is for you. Arcane Propulsion Arm. So developed by the artificers of House Canet. You must attach it to your arm or wrist, elbow, shoulder, and point the prosthetic magically formed to a copy of appendage it's replacing. And it has the following benefits. It can fully the prosthetic is a fully capable part of your body. You can take an action to remove the prosthetic and remove itself from your attunement to end. Okay. The prosthetic is a magic melee weapon with which you're proficient with. It deals 1d8 force damage on a hit and has a thrown property with a normal range of 20 feet and a long range of 60 feet. All right. You can throw it because, again, it's a propulsion arm. So, yeah, it just kind of flies away from your body. That's nice. So, a melee weapon with a thrown property deals 1d8 force damage. Cool stuff. And it's not limited to Warforged. Anybody can have it as long as you're missing a limb. Cool stuff. So if it has to be a hand on an arm. I was thinking like if I'm missing a leg and I shoot out my right leg towards the enemy, that would have been funny. Okay. Dern's Tentacle Whip. Okay. What's so special about your Tentacle Whip, Dern? Requires attunement. It's a whip-like strand of tough muscle bearing a sharp stinger at one end. To attune to the symbiotic weapon, it's a symbiotic weapon, you wrap the whip around your wrist for the entire attunement period, okay? During which time the whip painfully embeds its tendrils into your arm. Wow. All right. You gain a +2 bonus to attack and damage roll made with this magic whip. Oh, that is strong. But the attack rolls made against aberrations with this weapon have disadvantage. When are we gonna face an aberration? Not that much, right? And a creature hit by this weapon takes an extra 1d6 psychic damage. So +2 to attack and damage, and then also takes an extra 1d6 damage as well. And there's more. When you roll a 20 on a d20 for an attack roll, so when you crit, the target is stunned until the end of its next turn. Wow. This is a powerful weapon. As a bonus action, you can sheath the whip by causing it to retract into your arm. Okay, or whip it out, so like Spider-Man it out. Or Doc Ock probably is the better one here. Wow. But yeah. No save. Yeah, I don't think. Yeah, when you crit, it's stunned. The enemy is stunned. So +2 to attack, to hit and damage. Extra 1d6 psychic damage. And when you crit, enemy is stunned. The only downside here is if you hit a aberration, you have disadvantage. That's it. What else? Any downside to this? The whip can't be removed from you while you're attuned to it, and you can't voluntarily end your attunement to it. Okay. So if you're like remove curse is the one that's gonna end it. It's finesse. So that means it's a finesse weapon. So you can use dexterity or strength. I think this is a bit overpowered. Yeah, it's a very rare item. I know it's a very rare item. But it has a lot of good stuff. It's a finesse weapon, so you can use dexterity or strength. And it adds reach. Hello, hey. Welcome. Lufaruka? Am I pronouncing it? Welcome to our stream. Yeah, someone can cast remove curse on you and disarm you. How many? All right, chat. How many? Name me 3 monsters right now in the next like 30 seconds that can cast remove curse. Right? Exactly. Who does that? Name me 3 monsters right now in the next 30 seconds that can cast remove curse. All right. So, none. But what's good when you write a Dungeoncraft adventure that's like tier 1 to tier 3, make sure that it has remove curse. You could create a monster that has remove curse, and you know what? It looks at like the party, and if it sees someone with like a tuned weapon like this one, cast remove curse right away. You know, remove that lung or remove that eye, that limb, that whip, remove it. That's it. So that's a good enemy like idea for your dungeon craft. Is it a spam? Yeah. Oh well. It's okay. It's the first time. So I'm not sure. Anyway, what else? What else do we have? That's the tentacle whip. That is a cool whip. Not gonna forget that one. Now I'm interested in reading the others. Kirzin's ooze. All right, so Dern is a good inventor, or whatever. However, Dern found this symbiote. It's good. But Kern's what's this? Kirzin's ooze. So it requires attunement. This opalescent symbiote, another symbiote, lots of symbiotes here in Eberron. Symbiotic goo comes sealed in a jar and slowly shifts and moves. Okay? To attune to this item, you must first drink the contents of the jar, unlocking the following properties. Alright. So while attuned, you have resistance to poison and acid. Okay, you're also immune to poison condition. You're amorphous, so you can speak a command word and cause your body to assume an amorphous qualities of an ooze. For the next minute, you, along with your equipment, can move through space as narrow as 1 inch. Nice, you become ooze. And you can do acid breath as well. That deals 8d8 acid damage on a failed save. Wow. And symbiotic nature. Alright, you cannot remove while you're attuned to it, but you can voluntarily end your attunement. Okay. So remove curse ends it. If you die while the ooze is inside you, it bursts out and engulfs you, turning your corpse into a black pudding allied with a Dalekir. Nice. Okay. Now, this is an item I like. See, the ventilating lungs was cool, but then it had that safety net there at the end. This one, though, all right, I'm going to give you this power, resistance, immune to poison, acid breath. You can squeeze through tight spaces, but if you die, you got this ooze coming out from you and then eating you, making you a black pudding. That's a good item. Right, so it has consequences. It's good stuff, but if something goes wrong, you become an ooze, and you probably need like revivify. Not revivify. What do you call this? Resurrection to be able to come back from it, which is expensive. Is a nostril 1 inch wide? I don't know why I'm reading. Yeah, through rest, not resurrection is not enough. Probably, yeah. What else do we have? Instrument of the bards. Okay, so we have a harp, ring of regeneration. Okay, living armor. Are we getting like a Jarvis Iron Man kind of armor? Living armor. I have the book, right? I have the book, but I barely opened it. Now I have a reason to open it. All right. Requires attunement. The hideous armor is formed from Black Kitten. It's Chitin. Chitin? Kitten? Kitten. Let's go with that. Beneath which veins pulse and red. Okay. To attune to this item, you must wear it for the entire attunement period, during which tendrils on the inside chitin? Really? No, it's spelled. Let me put it in chat. It's spelled like this. Let me go to Google. What is it anyway? I don't know what it is. Is it like a real word? I thought it's like an Eberron word. I thought it's like an item in Eberron. Oh, it's a real word. Chitin. Yeah, it is chitin. It's a real word. All right. It's like a fiber or something. Okay. That makes sense. Man, chat is starting to figure out how dumb I am. All right. It's common as I don't know. Exoskeleton material. Oh, I heard about that. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Now I know. I don't encounter the word too much. And where were we? All right. So it's a chitin. All right. So it's a black chitin. It's kind of red. Pulse is red. You must wear it for the entire attunement period, in which tendrils on the inside burrows into you. Wow, these things have like graphic, very like cool stuff happening to them. Like very alien technology here. While wearing this armor, you have a +1 bonus to armor class. You have resistance to the following damage type: necrotic, poison, and psychic. Symbiotic nature can't be removed from you while you're attuned to it, and you can voluntarily end your attunement to it. Okay, if you're targeted, okay, remove curse. The attunement ends and it detaches from you. The armor requires fresh blood to be fed to it. Immediately after you finish any long rest, you must either feed half of your remaining hit dice to the armor or take 1 level of exhaustion. I love it. I love the items here. This is good stuff. I love the symbiotic items. All right. This is cool stuff. And can you have a plate armor? Yeah, you can have a plate armor version of this. Yeah. Oh yeah, your fresh blood. Yeah, it eats your hit dice. It's yeah. So, what else? Speaking stone, kind of like ascending stone. Key to long distance, instantaneous communication. It's your mobile phone basically. Cast sending spell. Okay. Oat bow, carpet of flying. You get a carpet of flying here, and staff of fire. Okay, and those are the items that you can get that you can put in your Dungeoncraft Eberron adventure, and that's what you have. And then that's a change log. That's it. Technically, it's just a 3-page document, and it took us 2 hours to discuss. I'm sorry. It's a 3-page document. That's it, because the 4th page is just a change log. That's it. So it doesn't have story seeds, because they mention it here. Oh, they did? Oh, I swear I saw it. I'm clicking on the wrong one. There we go. Where is that? Here, I see it. There. You are permitted to add these properties if you are using adventure seeds, which I think they forgot to remove this part because there's no story seeds. So, story seeds, for those who don't know, in previous Dungeoncraft adventures, and I think we have some in Spelljammers, I'm not sure. But in previous documents, you have story seeds. Story seeds are basically like what's going to be the focus of your story. So, for example, an old man died and needs to make sure that his grandson receives this family heirloom, something like that. So that's a story seed. It's up to you how you want, like what does the old man look like? What is the family heirloom? What where is the grandson located? Things like that. You're all free to do that, but it needs to follow that story seed. So, but now we don't have that anymore. Yeah, the one for Spelljammer, I can't say. I don't remember now, but I know before Spelljammers they have story seeds. So like while Beyond the Witchlight they have that. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna check right now because my credibility here as a Dungeoncraft creator is at stake. So we need to find out. This is the Spelljammer one. Yeah, this is the Spelljammer one. There we go. Yeah, so Spelljammer has adventure seeds. Let me raise it because it's the last page. 108 zoom. So adventure seeds like this one in what do you call this? In Spelljammer, for example. So this is the hook. So this is the story. The characters encounter a surprisingly tiny asteroid floating in wild space bearing a marooned spacefarer unbeknown to the characters, and this unusual person is possessed by a ghost of a malevolent pirate. So it's up to you, like how the story plays out, but this needs to happen. This part, as long as this hook is right here, then you're good to go. All right. But apparently, for other campaigns, you don't have that anymore. So for Eberron, you can do whatever you want, whatever story you want. As long as you adhere to the rules, you're good. And that's how you create adventures. AL legal adventures that you can publish in DM's Guild called Dungeoncraft. So this is a cool thing because again, right before this document was released, we can only create Dungeoncraft for the Forgotten Realms setting. In this case, Spelljammer, right? But now we can write Dungeoncraft for other campaign settings. So those who are fans of Eberron, those who love the setting, then feel free. Yes, spread the love, right? Of like if you want more people to learn more about Eberron, create these adventures, have us play it. And if you have some good stories to tell in Eberron, we want to hear that because there's no limit as long as it's in Eberron. There's no limit as to which area in Eberron you can write your adventure. So that one is cool. This is plus the items are sick, especially the symbiotic weapons. They're really cool stuff. So there. Now let's move on to the last document that AL released. All right. Anything else before? Just curious, have any idea what the market share for modules is for each campaign setting? Oh, definitely. Forgotten Realms. Forgotten Realms gets the highest piece of the pie, right? And the thing there is, what do you call this? Every time, this is what I've noticed. This is just from my perspective. Every time there's a new setting coming out, like or Wizards of the Coast is releasing an official setting, you get super hype. Like the hype is there, and like the hype trains are long, and all the good stuff, you get it. But once it's released, it has like its 3 to 6 month period, and then it dies out, right? A good example of that is Dragonlance. Everybody loves Dragonlance, right? I'm probably exaggerating that, but a lot of people love Dragonlance. A lot of the old school gamers love Dragonlance. Those who've read the books, all of the books, they love Dragonlance. I'm not even familiar with Dragonlance, but I think Dragonlance is cool, right? But now that the book has been released, like a setting and adventure book, the Shadow of the Dragon Queen book has been released, you don't hear anything else about Dragonlance. That's it. There's a few products that came out in DM's Guild that kind of like a supplement for Dragonlance campaign. And that's it. Hype is dead. You don't hear anything about Dragonlance anymore. There's gonna be like 1 to 5 streams about Dragonlance, but that's it. So Forgotten Realms is the one, like the biggest pie right now, because it's the default for 5th edition, and 2, there's just so much content about it. Like, the thing is, when Wizards of the Coast release an adventure book, for example, Storm King's Thunder, right? There's all the hype and everything. It's giants and everything. After 6 months, right, it dies down. Nobody cares about giants anymore. But it's still set in the Forgotten Realms. So if somebody else is making a campaign in the Forgotten Realms and they want to deal with giants, they can grab the book of, Storm King's Thunder and all that stuff. So there. Kind of expected though, I guess, because the source book comes out, people are writing modules, campaigns, and this is the downtime they're using. Yeah, and the thing there is, I guess it's also how they're marketing it. Again, it's just from my perspective, because you're releasing a new setting campaign book. You're gonna tell certain number of people, not a lot of people, certain number of people that they're about to release a book and it's going to be about this, like the contents of the book itself, right? So some creators will have a heads up and start to create supplements, adventures, third-party adventures and stuff, like, and release it on the same date as when the campaign setting book comes out, which is good. But again, it's just very limited amount of people. So when you and not all of those will create something. Some of them were like, yeah, not really my thing. Or, okay, sure, I'll write something, but something came up, I got busy, I wasn't able to finish this, so I'm not going to be able to publish my work. So that happens. And that is a problem, right? Plus, so that's one thing. Not a lot of there's no preview content that or preview document that content creators can get, so they can prepare and join the hype when a new campaign setting comes out. All right. Or if there is one, not a lot of people get it. Not even like 10 sources, I'm assuming, based from what I'm seeing. So that's one. 2, there's no after release marketing, right? Once it comes out, okay, like in a week or so, you have some posts on Twitter, YouTube videos, like what's fun and cool. But then after that, Wizard of the Coast will move on to the next product. So screw you, Dragonlance. We release you already. Screw you, Eberron. We're done with you. Screw you, Ravenloft. We've already released it. It's a done project. We're moving on to the next product. That's it. That's what happens. So there's no after release marketing going on. Like, all right, let's hire these people. Let's get Matthew Mercer or somebody else. Let's have them do a one shot of this. And like on the second month, let's have these all play out, things like that. what they do have is this, for example, Dungeoncraft Adventure. You have the AL stuff available, but the problem here is by the time that we release something, right? This came out December. Someone's the Dragonlance Dungeoncraft is gonna come out January. Someone's gonna publish a Dragonlance Dungeoncraft probably by February. That's 2 months after the release of the Dragonlance book. There's no hype. Like, it's dead. Book is dead. Or I mean, the hype is dead. So at that point, it's up to the third-party content creator now to relive the hype, and make them look at these Dragonland books. So that is the problem from Wizards of the Coast side. That's what I'm seeing. That feeling, not managing the marketing division. Yeah. Again, I think that's probably corporate DMPaulG talking, but yeah, because it's the same thing. It's a business. It's a common business flow from concept, right? So even when you're implementing an action plan, you're implementing a new business, implementing a new rule in your company, there should be like there should be a follow-up part, right? There's like leadership trainings and everything, like a official system dedicated to those. That like there's one part there that there should be a follow-up, right? And that part is missing from Wizards of the Coast. So just imagine if right now you're still hearing like Dragonlance stuff from Wizards of the Coast. It will keep us hyped up. It will keep content creators hyped up and create more stuff. But hey, if no one's looking at Dragonlance stuff, no one's looking at Spelljammers anymore, and what are we supposed to look at? Same fate that has happened to Ravenloft, right? Everybody loves Curse of Strahd. Everybody loves Strahd von Zarovich. And they want to know more about the Ravenloft setting. Because they read the books. They've played the old adventures. And then once it came out, nothing. Quiet. And then it took this long, right? It took this long to have a Dungeoncraft guidance for the Ravenloft settings. Like, you ignored it for a year or two, right? You created a campaign setting for Ravenloft, and then that's it. So, which that Ravenloft adventure series for Adventures League is good stuff. It's good stuff, but it didn't have enough hype, so not a lot of people have seen it. Yeah. Or like more people could have seen it. Right? Anyway, that's my that's my hot take for today. All right, I would rather talk about that stuff than the AI one, right? Because again, I'm afraid of our AI overlords, but future AI overlords. But this one, I'm okay, no problem. Anyway, so this is for Ravenloft. I think it's gonna be like the same content except for what's allowed, what's not allowed. So let's go through it. We're gonna skip stuff that's kind of what we've read already on the previous document. So adventures in Ravenloft campaign must take place in the Domains of Dread, which is, again, Ravenloft is a setting that has many subdomains, which are called Domains of Dread, different areas that are kind of separated by the mist. And Ravenloft, which is Barovia, that is one of the Domains of Dread. And then you have the Ravenloft campaign setting. Yeah, I know it's confusing. The plot tier adventure must include aspects of Ravenloft, okay, and using monsters from Van Richten's Guide to Ravenloft. Do I have that? Do I have? Yeah. So you need to have this book. Okay? You need to have this book. I'll make sure it doesn't go to the trash. Okay. There. So you need to have that book for creating Dungeoncraft adventure set in Ravenloft campaign. So we have the template and everything, publishing. We have that also 1 year, 6 months. We have that same rules. Art and graphics, creating your adventure. It's the same thing, 2 hours or 4 hours. You can go longer, but it's still tagged as 4 hours. Using monsters. So this one is going to be a bit different, right? So what can we use? So we can still use the Monsters Compendium Volume 1 found in D&D Beyond, which is free. Van Richten's Guide to Ravenloft, the book that I just showed you. Fizban's Treasury of Dragons, Monster Manual, Mordenkainen presents Monsters of the Multiverse. So, all right. Technically the same book. So we just replaced the Eberron Rising from the what's the name? Rising. So we replaced Eberron Rising from the Last War with Van Richten's Guide to Ravenloft in terms of monster sources and how to use them, things like that, still the same. Ravenloft lineages as NPCs. For this series of adventures, NPC stat blocks that have the requirement that the creature is humanoid may also swap to Hexblood in addition to humanoid races. Oh, okay. Have some Hexblood there. Okay. Adventure setting. All right, so this one I think we have to read. Your adventure must take place in the domains of Ravenloft, whether that is in an existing domain or a domain of dread of your own creation. That one is cool. So it's like in Wild Beyond the Witchlight, we can create our domain of the light in the Feywild setting. Here, we can create our own domain of dread. Yes, domain of bread like evil. Yeah, domain of bread like evil bread. That's it. You go there, it's just evil bread, and you're basically like every bread is chasing you because they want you to be like squeezed in between bread. Like you're supposed to be the patty. That is a cool concept, to be honest with you. Right? And then you have Gingerbread Man is the Dark Lord. You have that, right? Yeah, bagels, evil bagels. You have evil croissants and all that stuff. Yeah. And their goal is to make humanoid sandwiches. Man, right? Turn you into pepperoni, turn you into ham, bacon. That's what they want to have. Oh, you're a vegetarian? Let me turn you into lettuce. Okay. All right. That's I think that's an acceptable domain of dread, but it's funny and scary at the same time, right? But anyway, this is cool. So we can create our own domain. We can name it however we want. Ravenloft stories typically include dark mysteries, gothic horror, or monster hunts. Your adventure is not required to have specific connections to previously published Ravenloft Mist Hunter campaign adventures. So Ravenloft Mist Hunters, this is the campaign that I was talking about, the one that was released when few months after the Ravenloft book was out by Adventures League team of Wizards of the Coast. But yeah. Additional sources. We can use the Tarokka deck, a common trope in Ravenloft stories. Do I have a Tarokka deck? I do, but I have to stand up. I don't want to stand up because you're gonna see the shorts that I'm wearing. So I don't want to see. I don't want to show it. I don't feel it. So we have a Tarokka deck that you can use. A digital version is also available online. You see the link here. Click it. Command shorts. And what else do we have here? In addition, Ravenloft stories frequently deal with mature themes. The challenge here is, are we mature enough to write a Ravenloft adventure? That is the problem. Do we have the mind of, that's older than a 10-year-old to be able to come up with a good story with a mature team for Ravenloft. Yeah, we started with Domain of Bread. So yes. Yep, I would say so. Yep. As such, you are encouraged to take advantage of the so when this came out, because again, when this came out, when Ravenloft setting came out, and what's this Ravenloft Miss Hunters book came out, adventures came out. There's a lot of mature themes here. Involves there's even like involving like suicide, like manipulation, gaslighting, all those mature themes, quote unquote. And the AL team was kind enough to create a safety kit for that. So that way, if you have to make sure that your players are okay with these like types of adventures. And how do you make that? How do you make sure that they are? Here's a safety kit. So they have it made already. So you don't have to make one. You can just use it. So that is very helpful to dungeon masters if you're running one of these Ravenloft Dungeoncraft adventures. There. Creating your own. All right. I like this. Creating your own domain of dread. If you chose, you may create your own domain of dread and Dark Lord using the rules provided in Chapter 2 of Van Richten's Guide to Ravenloft. You know what? I'm curious. So we're gonna read. We're gonna read it. Chapter 2. Creating a Dark Lord, page 39. It still smells new. Like it's only been opened once, that's it. Page 39. Creating a Dark Lord. Alright, so domains are mocking reflection of the evils they confine. So each has a purpose. You need a sinister reflection. So the domain is like a sinister reflection of this Dark Lord. What is the past life of this Dark Lord? Like, where was the Dark Lord before the mist took them? Things like that. Who was the Dark Lord's family? What is their wicked personality? So we have to make their ideals, bond, flaws, right? Like one of the flaw here is when someone questions me, I won't stop until I befriend them and then betray them. Wow, that is edgy. I will make you my friend so I can betray you in the future. Okay. Corrupt beyond redemption. Yeah, we need villains, and we don't need anyone that can, become a hero in the future. No, they're villains. They're the Dark Lords. They have performed evil acts, and they have harmed a lot of people, and they're irredeemable. Okay, that's it. No, you cannot fix them. That's it. No. He's so edgy, he's so good looking, I can fix him. No, you cannot fix it. We cannot fix the Dark Lord. Alright? They're irredeemable. What else do I have here? Developing a Dark Lord. Okay, so just kind of making more story about them. Monstrous transformation. An example of that is the Dark Lord loses their voice. Their words now carve themselves on their skin as lingering scars. That is super edgy too. They became a Dark Lord imprisoned in the mist for a reason. Exactly. The birth of a Dark Lord. How did this Dark Lord came to be? And that's it. And the rest is like how to create a domain, which is all here in Chapter 2. And I can understand now why you need this book, because instructions on how to create your own domain is right here. Alright, so in Eberron, you can write any adventure anywhere in Eberron. Here, you can write anywhere or like in any domain of Barovia, but you can also, because of how the campaign or like the setting has been set up, it's like different domains kind of mushed together, just separated by the mist. You can create your own, right? There's a thin line between edgy Dark Lord and sad boy. Can a sad boy become an edgy Dark Lord? They can, right? But can a Dark Lord be a sad boy? I think a Dark Lord can be a sad boy. But can a sad boy be a Dark Lord? I'm not sure. All right. Anyway, rewards. I think it's gonna be the same. Yeah, we have up to table D. I hope that I'm hoping the magic items are different. Adding minor properties, so we have that. Firearms you can include. Whoa! I don't think this is in Eberron. You can include a mundane pistol or musket as a treasure or as equipment on NPCs, which the characters can keep. These are not magical items. The value of the firearm is included in the adventuring gear budget discussed above. Nice. We can have guns. We have firearms. Cool stuff. And then money, gold rewards, you have that. Story awards, we have that as well. Fine print, I think it's the same. The only difference is the code. So RV, Ravenloft, right? It's not Van Richten, because Van Richten is VR. Anything else that's RV? Yeah, that's it. Man, I hate these things. Like they force us to call players handbook from PHB to PH because it's two words, player's handbook. Now they're tagging RV Ravenloft. It's just okay. You know what? I'm not gonna spend my time on that. But anyway, it's RV-DC. So you can use that as your Dungeoncraft code because again, that's a way for us to know that you are running a Ravenloft Dungeoncraft adventure. A good example is here, RV-DC, DAG01 for the first adventure, and which is created in the domain of dread called Daggerton. Right? All right, that makes sense. 3-letter acronyms are too long. I demand 2-letter acronyms. I don't know. Anyway. Okay, so logos and everything important. You can be your ability to create more content can be revoked or suspended if you don't follow these rules. We read them, so we're all good. And now we can go with the magic items. Oh no, I think they're the same. Oh, they got Goggles of Night right here. It's not a typo. Bag of Holding. Oh, here we go. Harkon's Bite. What is this? It's an attunement, uncommon item. These table A are all uncommon items. A dire wolf tooth dangles from this simple cord necklace. Okay, while you wear it, the necklace grants you +1 bonus to ability checks and saving throws. Not bad for an uncommon item. Curse. Okay, it's a curse item though. Attuning to Harkon's Bite curses you until either Harkon Lucas, which is a Dark Lord. I forgot which domain. But Harkon Lucas is a Dark Lord. Removes the necklace from you, or you are targeted by a remove curse spells or similar magic. Okay? Upon donning or removing the necklace, whether you are attuned to it or not, you are afflicted with werewolf lycanthropy as detailed in the monster manual. The curse lasts until dawn. And the curse lasts until the dawn after the next full moon. If you are still wearing the necklace at this time, you are afflicted with the lycanthropy again. Whoa! I thought lycanthropy is not allowed in Adventures League. Because you have a way to cure disease and cure lycanthropy, right? Oh, right. Because when we read the players guide and Dungeon Master's guide the other day, it doesn't say that you cannot play adventures anymore. Did it say that we cannot play adventures anymore if you are inflicted with lycanthropy? We have to go back. I'm sorry if this is gonna mess up our flow a little, but it's stuck in my head, so we need to know. This part. Where is it? Scroll up. During the sessions of play, if you die or are subject to a lingering effect such as disease or curse, or removed from adventure, you deal with the consequences of the duration of a session of play. Okay? You return your character to life or remove the negative effect. If you were removed from adventure, you gain rewards. You retire characters succumbing to your fate. If you are returned to adventure before the conclusion of the session of play, okay. Let me search lycanthropy. So it's not here. There's a reason why I'm searching this, and some of you min-maxers know what's happening. There's none. I'm spelling lycanthropy. All right. So, being inflicted, this means in Adventures League, because I don't see it in the rules anymore. Again, we follow raw rules as written. It's not written anymore in any of the guides. Rules as written, they're no longer preventing characters with lycanthropy to play. So even if you catch lycanthropy, you can still play AL adventures. And this is further enforced because of getting this Harkon's Bite magic item. So if you have lycanthropy and you become a werewolf, guess what? Yep, you're right, chat. You're immune to non-magical physical damage. And you can get this item at tier 1 because it's an uncommon item. So you can, you have tier 1 or level 1 to 4 adventure. No magic items, no silvered items. Your enemies are like what? Bandits, zombies. You just stand there and tank all the damage if you become a werewolf. Wow. Okay. Let me see if I'm reading the magic item right. Upon donning or removing the necklace, whether you are attuned to it or not, you are now afflicted with werewolf lycanthropy, as detailed in the monster's manual. The curse lasts until the dawn after the next full moon. So you become a werewolf until the dawn after the next full moon. If you're still wearing the necklace at this time, you are afflicted with lycanthropy. So you have lycanthropy. Can we reread the part about if you are subject to lingering? All right. Let me read the curse part. Attuning to Harkon's Bite curses you until either Harkon Lucas, which is a Dark Lord, removes the necklace from you, or you are targeted by a remove curse spell or similar magic. Again, which monster removes curse, removes curse on you. As long as you remain cursed, you cannot remove the necklace. All right. And then, upon donning or removing the necklace, whether you are attuned to it or not, you are afflicted So even if you remove the attunement, you are still afflicted with werewolf lycanthropy as detailed in the monster's manual. I think it's like when it's full moon, you become a werewolf, right? Or there's a DC for it. The curse lasts until the dawn after the next full moon. If you are still wearing the necklace at this time, you are afflicted with the lycanthropy again. All right. It's all about the narrative, though. I feel like in Moonshades could be bad to be walking around as a lycan. Not if you're in Moray. You're in Moray. Life is good if you're a lycanthrope. If you got lycanthropy, right? Exactly. But not that one. The one earlier where if you die, you are subject to lingering curse at the end of the session. You have to. Yeah, that one is gone. The one earlier where if you die, you are subject to a lingering curse at the end of the session. You have to. Am I missing something? Let's read it again. Let's read it again. Did I read it too fast and missed it? Am I just assuming stuff? During sessions of play, if you die, subject to a lingering effect such as a disease or curse, which is lycanthropy is a curse, or removed from the adventure, you deal with the consequences for the duration of the session of play. Yeah, if you die, you didn't die. So if you got cursed, you just have to deal with the consequences for the duration of the session of play. The consequence is you become a werewolf, right? At the session's conclusion, you may choose the following fate. You return your character to life or remove the negative effect. If you were removed from the adventure, you gain rewards earned until remove. Okay, you may gain a level. Or remove. All right, so this one. So you may. This already tells us everything. You may, right? You may do the following. I don't have to, but I may do you can do one of the following at the end of the conclusion. Return the character to life or remove the negative effect. Okay, so remove the lycanthropy. Or retire the character succumbing to the lycanthrope curse, right? But the thing here is, if you're attuned to the Harkon's bite, sure, I will remove lycanthropy. But on next adventure, the item says if I'm still wearing it, I'm still subjected to lycanthropy again. So, unattune, attune, I become a werewolf. And then unattune, attune again, I become a werewolf. Right? So, like the min maxers here are like, DMPaulG, what are you doing? Why are you telling everyone our secret? and then they're all hoping like no AL admins gotta see this, right? But I'm reading it right? I see it. That's what I'm seeing. I mean, I have again. This is. I have nothing against min maxers. That's one play style of D&D, and me myself, I do that at times too, because that's fun for me. But yeah, we don't want to reveal all of our secrets. But I'm reading it. I'm seeing all of this. It's fun stuff. Okay, so we have that. They need to clarify that. But yeah, but as we read it, right? You tell that you're a dungeon master. Dungeon master, this is how I understand it. Do you understand it differently? And then if they go with a different ruling, okay. But if you have a good argument, you tell that you're a dungeon master. You have all the proof. You have the documents here. You can tank non-magical damage. Yeah, why can't you? Yeah, right? Uh, that's it. Because before, if you become a lycanthrope, if you're cursed like lycanthropy, there's a specific sentence in the player's guide that says that you're not legal to play adventure or something to that effect. You're no longer legal to play AL adventures until that curse is removed. That phrase, that sentence is no longer in the player's guide. So the Black Blood tribe are celebrating right now. Yeah, time to join the Black Blood tribe. Okay. Anyway, what's this? Sword of Vengeance. Move on to the next item. This is another Van Richten item. Sword of Vengeance. All right, it's another cursed weapon. So it requires attunement, +1 bonus to attack and damage roll. All right, so it's a +1 weapon with a curse. This sword is cursed and possessed by a vengeful spirit. Becoming attuned to it extends the curse to you. As long as you remain cursed, you are unwilling to part with this sword, keeping it in your person at all times. You sleep next to it, you take a shower next to it, you fight with it, you eat with the sword next to you. While attuned to this weapon, you have disadvantage on attack rolls made with weapons other than this one. And it's very just. Don't use any other weapons. In addition, while the sword is on your person, you must succeed on a wisdom saving throw, DC 15, whenever you take damage in combat. Why? On a failed save, you must attack the creature that damaged you until they drop to 0 hit points. Hence, Sword of Vengeance. Okay. Or until you can't reach the creature to make a melee attack against it. Okay? You can break the curse in usual ways. Remove curse. Casting Banishment on the sword forces the vengeful spirit to leave it, making it just a normal +1 weapon. Oh, okay. All right, not as good as Harkon's Bite, but okay, we have that curse. Hat of Disguise, Cloak of Protection, Pack Keeper +1, Eyes of. All right, so there's some differences, or there's a difference on the list, because there are some items here that's not on the Eberron one. So you have a figurine of Wondrous Power, Silver Raven, but most of it are kind of the same. And Pipes of the Sewers is here, so all right. Right? We should make a monster. We should make a villain or just a random monster that can cast or that will cast remove curse and banishment on people, right? That's it. Just if they see your items, they see what you're wearing, you know what? Boom. Remove curse. Unattuned to that item. That's it. You're gone. Choose something else. Because they know, or you as a dungeon master, you know they're going to beat the monsters anyway. They're going to defeat the monsters anyway. But if you want to mess with your players, right, that is what you do. You want to annoy them for make it a bit difficult for them during that adventure. I think that is the way. So are these like good advices that I'm giving you? Probably not, but these are options that you can try to implement. All right. Common items. Okay, so most of these remove curse trap. Yeah. Common items. So Boots of False Tracks, we have that. So this is from Xanatar's Guide to Everything. Candle of the Deep. Okay, so Cloak of Many Fashions is the cool one. It can change to different like the look of the cloak can change basically. So if you have this and then the one item, the weave something that can change the appearance of your clothing, plus this, you have everything. It's almost like you have a Hat of Disguise. Masquerade Tattoo, which is I think makes you do like a disguise. Okay, so these are all Xandar's guide. Pipe of Smoke Monsters, Dread Helm. Dread Helm is just a normal helm that on the visor it's dark, but it makes your eyes glow. Right, kind of like Dark Souls kind of thing. So that one's cool. There's a Talking Doll and Horn of Silent Alarm. Okay, cool stuff. Rare items. Cape of Mountebank. Is this the Dimension Door one? Yeah, the Dimension Door rare item. So it makes you cast Dimension Door. Cloak of the Bat makes you, like, gives you bat wings, right? Cloak of the Bat. And polymorph you into a bat. Okay. Iron Stone for Awareness. What's this? Is this Perception? Iron Stone of Awareness. You can't be surprised while this dark. Alright, so you can't be surprised. That's it. That's what you get. Staff of Withering. You get a Mandolin. Chime of Opening. Mace of Terror. Robe of Eyes. I love Robe of Eyes. It looks like flavor-wise, like just it's a robe full of eyes. Basically, it's cool. Wand of Binding. Armor +1. Ring of Protection. Weapon +2, but no firearms. Okay. We're not getting any. Oh, there's +1 armor. And then very rare items. We have a Ghost Step Tattoo. Mirror of Life Trapping. That's a big item, right? It's like a full mirror. It's a 4-foot tall mirror. Okay. That can trap creatures there. Okay. 9 Lives Stealer. Okay, that's good. Staff of Thunder and Lightning. Bloodwell Vial. What's a Bloodwell Vial? It requires attunement by a sorcerer. It's a sorcerer item. You can use the vial as a spellcasting focus, and while holding it, you get +3 bonus to spell attack rolls and saving throws for your DCs. Wow, okay. In addition, when you roll any hit dice to recover hit points while you're carrying the vial, you can regain 5 sorcery points. Nice. Cauldron of Rebirth. What's this? Does it give Revivify? Cauldron of Rebirth. It's from Tasha's. It requires attunement by a druid or warlock. The tiny pot bears relief scenes of heroes on its cast iron sides. All right, so like bas reliefs. Okay. You can use the cauldron as a spellcasting focus for your spells. All right, so it's tiny. And functions as a suitable component for a scrying spell. To create, you can also, when you finish a long rest, you can use the cauldron to create a potion of greater healing. The potion lasts for 24 hours, then loses its magic if not consumed. That is cool. But only druids and warlocks can use it. As an action, you can cause the cauldron to grow large enough for a medium creature to crouch within. And you can revert the cauldron to its normal size as an action, harmlessly shunting anything that can't fit inside. Wow, okay. So it can become really big. And you can fit inside. If you place a corpse of a humanoid into the cauldron and cover the corpse with 200 pounds of salt, which costs 10 gold pieces for at least 8 hours, the salt is consumed and the creature returns to life as if a raised dead at the end of dawn. Once used, this property cannot be used again for 7 days. Wow. Okay. If you're a Sorlock, does DC bonus stack with Pack Keeper to spells that are both if they're both sorcerer and warlock spells? Yes. Yeah. Wow. I like this item. All right, so we're discovering some cool items here. Oh, does it stack? I don't think it stacks. Does it stack? While holding this rod, you gain a +1 spell attack and saving throw DCs of your warlock spells. I don't know. I don't think it stacks. I'm not sure. But looking at the Cauldron of Rebirth, Lazarus Pit, yeah, it is, right? So you can create 1 potion of greater healing per day, which is cool. Having a cauldron with you that you can use as spellcasting focus is awesome. You can make it big so that a medium-sized creature can fit. And then if you have a dead ally or you just want someone to revivify, just have 200 pounds of salt, which is a lot. And you can cast Raise Dead. You probably need to have like a bag of holding for this if you're gonna be carrying like a lot of salt. Imagine a wizard that always keeps a salted clone in the cauldron and dies daily. Yeah. Dancing sword? You're getting a dancing sword too? Wow, okay. Animated shield? Oh, wow, we're getting all the good stuff here. Blast scepter. What's a blast scepter? I forgot. Whoever is attuned to the blast scepter gains resistance to fire and lightning damage, and can, as an action, use it to cast Thunder Wave as a 4th level spell, without expending a spell slot. Okay. Wait a second. I think with a blast scepter you can just spam Thunder Wave. Whoever's attuned to the blast scepter gains resistance from fire and lightning damage, and can, as an action, use it to cast Thunder Wave as a 4th level spell without expending a spell slot. So every turn you can just keep casting Thunder Wave. Just spam it. Yeah, wow, okay, that is cool. Alright. It's cool stuff. And then you get Wand of the War Mage +3 and Cloak of Arachnida. Alright, I think what I learned more about magic items than than writing Dungeoncraft adventures in this stream. But these are cool stuff. Are there more? Is there more stuff? Nope. It's just a change log, and that's it. That's basically it. And we're done. These are the documents that have been out. So the other day we talked about the AL Player's Guide and Dungeon Master's Guide, how to play and run AL games. Today we talk about how to create Dungeoncraft adventures, which is, again, adventure modules that are legal for AL play. So it's other people can run it if you publish them, or you and your co-designer can run it as is if you don't plan to publish it. You could say that, or you could say you learn a lot about how to have better narrative fitting magic items in your own written modules. That is right. That's a better way. Thank you, Chad. That's a better way of looking at it. Yes. We learned some rules as well. Again, you need to publish your adventure because these settings, Ravenloft and Eberron, they don't get a lot of content from Wizards of the Coast, like additional content. So it's not like in Forgotten Realms, like every year or every 8 months, 6 months, there's a new book set in the Forgotten Realms. For Ravenloft and Eberron, like one, if you're lucky if you get like 3 books, right? 2 is good. Most probably you only get 1 at times, right? And so here we learn that you have 6 months to publish an adventure once you run it to a group of players. And then if you're not planning to publish it, you can run that non-published adventure for 1 year. That's it. And then in terms of rewards, we have that for Ravenloft, we can create our own domain or be on any of the domains set in Ravenloft, which is a lot and cool stuff. And we can create up to tier 3 adventures, which is, again, that is good. We can create high level content for Adventurers League. So if you're a member of the AL community, you love adventure, you like Adventurers League, and you want to try your hands at writing your own adventure, maybe you have a Domain of Bread like idea, and why not try writing one? Because that might be a hit. You never know. Domain of Bread might be such a huge hit, and Wizards of the Coast notice it, and they buy it from you. They buy your IP, and you're rich, right? We also learned the nefarious power of remove curse checkpoints. Yes. Oh, yeah, we have those traps, right? Instead of monsters, we have the traps. We can do that. You have like a wandering cleric in a Domain of Dread or in Eberron, and it's just that cleric's goal is just, he thought it's doing a good thing by casting remove curse on everybody and just cast remove curse on players without consent. Like that's his thing, right? Wow. As silly as Domain of Bread sounds, and we're making light of it, you never know who will end up loving whatever you write. Yeah, again, Ravenloft started with like a generic vampire story, like a vampire in a castle, who's in love, and that's basically it. And you have Eberron, which is a typical, investigation noir adventure kind of thing. These are simple stories if you look at it, but then as time goes on, people start to like that, and they build more lore around it. This is where you can start. If you like D&D, this is your thing, and you feel like you want to share your stories to other people, this is the program, the tool that Wizards of the Coast or Adventurers League team are giving us. So this one, very, very grateful. Again, I said it a while ago, this is where my career started. Because of this program, I'm now here talking to you about these things and have a lot of projects and doing full-time doing D&D stuff, right? Like my problems now are all D&D related. Which is, it's a problem, yes, but those are good problems. Like, my concern now are like all D&D related. Like all, like, can you imagine? That's why sometimes, like a lot of times, it's hard for like my friends and my wife to take me seriously about when I'm working, because really, that's your problem. You have scheduling problems with your games, or you have to come up with like a cool name for this NPC, and right, and you have to hold up in your office for like a number of hours just because you need to write like 2 paragraphs about a villain or something. But if that's the life that you wanna have in the future, probably I'm not rich. All right, I'm just telling you that. That's my life. I'm living by. I have a family. We're surviving. I'm not rich. Hopefully, we'll be rich one day because of this. But it's sustainable enough, right? I've reached a point where it's sustainable enough. And if we can have but if that's your thing, that's what you want to do, or you just basically want to share your love for these campaign settings, these Dungeoncraft guides are all feel free to use them, because they are good stuff, good stuff. And then from there, if you want to branch out to like more homebrew stuff, because now you know how to write adventures. Now you know how to balance monsters. Now you know how to write a setting. Maybe you want to write your own, not like a homebrew setting or alternative campaign setting that you can publish outside of DM's Guild, Kickstarter it, all that stuff. You can start here. Or it could be the other way around. If you're used to creating alternative campaign settings, you're used to drafting monster stats, you're used to creating adventures for, different publishers, and now you're dipping into Adventures League, you can use these tools. Remember, rich and poor writers both start the same, learning how to write, and always learn the fundamentals of any skill you want to be good at for fun or gold. Yep, that's right. So keep that. Again, when I started, I have no idea I'm going to be a writer. For those who know me and those that were working with me, they know that I suck. I suck at writing. And you can see it on stream, like my grammar, because I'm talking, so that's fine, it's acceptable. But when it comes to written form, wow, it's so bad. Like Grammarly gives up when I write stuff. That's how bad my writing is. So, but it doesn't stop me, because I know I saw it. Was it Neil Gaiman? I think it's Neil Gaiman who saw like a tweet or something. Like he said that he's like a really, really bad writer, but then he has a lot of money to hire editors that can fix it for him. That's why he can write whatever he wants. And that's, for me, that is the goal. You know what? I'm bad at writing, but I'm going to keep writing stuff. Get my friends to check my stuff. Get editors whenever I can. Until to the point that, you know what, I have enough resources to just have people fix whatever I create. And that gives me the freedom to create what I want. So now, if this is your thing, go write. If it's bad, if it's you feel like there's a lot of room for improvement, it's okay. That means there's a lot of opportunity for you to improve. And 2, 3 years, 4 years, 10 years, 20 years down the line, who knows what might happen, right? So there, that's enough life lesson from me. We have completed all the documents released by, or we have read all of the new documents released by Adventures League. We're good to go. What happens now? Today is Thursday, if I'm reading my calendar right. So that means this is the last day of our weekly stream. The last day of the week where we're streaming. And we're going to stream again. The next stream will happen this Monday, 11 p.m. Oh, it's already Friday. Yeah. Yeah, it's 2 a.m. Yeah, and where I'm at, it's already 2 a.m. Friday, almost 2 a.m. Friday. But yeah, we're going to stream. The next stream will be on Monday, January 2nd. So 11 p.m. Manila time, 10 a.m. Eastern. The next time we see each other, it's already in a new year. So, Happy New Year, everyone. I hope 2022 was kind to you. If it was not kind to you, I'm really hoping that 2023 is going to be a good year, not just for a lot of people, but for everyone. So, Happy New Year, everyone. If you're doing fireworks, be careful, okay? Especially if you're a writer, don't lose those fingers. Be careful. Happy New Year. Enjoy. I hope next year you have tons of good luck, tons of opportunity, tons of happy moments to meet new friends. And yeah, if you have time to listen to my stream, we're gonna go back to the Moonshae Isles, extract more lore in the Moonshaes, and starting January 2nd, 11 p.m. Manila, 10 a.m. Eastern. That's it. What did I say? 2020. Did I say 2023? 2023. It's the same. What are you talking about? Oh, it's a joke. God damn it. Anyway, that's it. That's the last joke of the year from chat. That's it. All right. That's it. You know what? I'm gonna stop reading. That's it. We're good. We're good. I'm gonna go. I need to write. I have a deadline that I have to reach, so that we have something to play at Winter Fantasy. Happy New Year, everyone. Peace. Bye bye.